What is up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a fantastic Sunday. This is the story, more of my origins. This is the way I became. I'm not. I am who I am because it's basically a long process of how my mindset shifted towards a more unique lifestyle. I'm not going to say being Blackpill mgtow is like phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. Like mgtow does not really like tell you how to live your life. But the principle is basically marriage is a scam, which I fully agree with it now. And honestly, it's just lust. I don't believe in love. I think love is already losing its meaning. I think love is just for certain things. I'm going to fully agree that even when you get with the girl, it's not going to be like forever. It's going to be temporary. And by the time, if you ever have a relationship and you reach the 5 year limit, you have two choices, breakup or marriage. So technically, as I grew up with, I'm gonna have to be completely honest. Like I don't like to sound so negative because I'm not hateful. Like yeah, like there's a lot of things that has been done to me, but I let it go. Like there's nothing good of holding grudges. You can just complain, point fingers, and become the victim. But honestly, that's how the world works. You become a victim. You're in the survival of the fittest. You either become the strongest or the weakest, and you get completely devoured by the predators, or you learn how to survive and use techniques to kill that predator. And that's what I decided to not. I just didn't want to give up. I just wanted to do the things that I love still. Hopefully, if life can still allow me to do certain things that I always craved, then that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to argue with that. But unfortunately, coming from third world parents, a lot of these times, a lot of them they're not capable of becoming parents. They don't know the full structure, how to become an efficient parent. Yeah, like my parents might have done a good job in not making us turn out to be lazy bums or degenerates or drug addicts or guys that rot in their basement, which is kind of contrary because I still roommate with my parents. It's just I don't have any potential roommates yet, and I only have one, but I don't even know if that's even worth it, which I kind of mentioned in the last video. The only thing is, my mom became more fanatical with religion, so that played a very huge role. That's how at times it did destroy me, but as much as I complain, as much as I argue with them, they don't fully understand the damage it has done to me, because obviously they didn't have the same opportunities as I did, and that's why they're never going to really understand the suffering, the pain, because my parents came from nothing. Yeah, they made it in the first world. They built their business. Props to them. They both didn't became these guys that want to leech off the government or anything. They actually did emphasize hard work, creativity, and building something positive, for the future. And one thing that I kind of give props to my father is at least he has the IQ for a futuristic plan. My mom as well, but she's a little bit more obviously female style of thinking. But in that sense, I can be proud of that. The other thing is, yeah, like I'm a loner. I'm not I always been a loner. It started ever since I was a kid. Being raised by third world parents, there was a lot of consequences. One, they were not fully ready yet. There was a lot of distance between me and my parents because I was always around with, around babysitters. And this is like the 90s, like mid 90s, and you still could get away with, neglect. I did have some babysitters they just care for me to be fed and well behaved. So I would they would feed me twice a day, make me watch TV. Yeah, like that distance between me and my parents did end up, having some consequences, and there's a lot of, things that went on in my life that kind of, unfortunately, nobody is going to ever understand it because one, nobody knows your background, nobody cares to even acknowledge what you went through. That's why, I prefer to be alone. Nobody's ever going to fully comprehend where I came from, where I had to go through a lot of humiliation rituals, a lot of gaslighting, guilt tripping, and then the religion that I had to partake was the Jehovah's Witness or whatever you want to call it, Watchtower. I don't, if you know what that is, and look it up. I don't want to get too much into that. Same story again, but having being brainwashed by your parents, specifically my mom, at the age of 7, and it all started because obviously, my sister, typical female, and I don't mean to say this as a misogynistic. Let me reverse it. She's a female. Obviously, they do rebel faster than the man. That's something that I'm surprised that women still believe that back in the day that men were more rebellious, but actually the worst one was my sister. And after her behavior, after a lot of conflicts with my mother, that's when my mom decided to indoctrinate us with religion, brainwash us, so she didn't really have to go a second struggle how she did with my sister, because we're all like separate years apart. We're not like close in age. Like my sister's already like in her 40s, my early 30s, my brother's in his early 20s, which is kind of sad. Life has went completely fast. But before everybody mentions, yeah, like I did had a little grudge on my sister. Even her ex did mention this for the way I became, but honestly, there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, like there's no such. Sometimes I don't even know if karma exists or not. Because even though she still ended up winning, she still got her fiance. She ends up living on her own. She's still a little bit more respected by my parents than me. Obviously, that's why I still I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm starting to have this little distance with my parents. That's why I'm trying to move out. It's very difficult because if my parents find out that I'm ignoring them, then they're going to start questioning, like, if I'm ignoring them, what's the purpose of me working for them? And right now, the job opportunities here in my town are very scarce. There's not enough jobs anymore. And if you end up finding a job, you're only going to be working 2 or 3 days in the industry, or you're going to have like 2 days at a factory, then, or warehouse, whatever I could fit in. Then I'm going to have to, for the next couple of days, of years, if I end up going to that route of like quitting on my parents, leaving the business, I'm gonna have to work 3 or 4 shifts, because they're, right now my town is not doing pretty well. It's going through a very rough time at the moment as we're speaking. So there's a lot of things why I had to kind of swallow at everything. Yeah. So basically, the religion played a huge role. It destroyed my original identity. Had to be replaced by, my identity was replaced by an artificial identity. I had to become this submissive, excess male, and I had nothing else to live for, and that was the only thing I knew. So the religion became part of my life. I kind of don't want to go too much into detail. The only thing I can tell you from this religion is they don't celebrate holidays, they don't celebrate birthdays, they don't participate in patriotic events, because they obviously consider that all governments of the world are all influenced by the devil. You're not allowed to have any particular friends in the outside of the religion, even your girlfriends too. So you guys can get the point. You're automatically getting destroyed. You're getting, your life is transitioning to become a slave for the masters. So by the time I reached high school, it was a very difficult task to really go through, because people could not really understand where I was coming from. Honestly, you're a teenager. You don't care to ask questions. You're just living your life. So yeah, missing out on the beautiful years of my teens, being indoctrinated and having a fanatical mom, and sometimes my dad was fanatical, but he was never around. And then my sister influence got me to be more controlled, because obviously my mom thought I was going to be worse just because I was a male. So by the time I graduated, it was a very I'm not even going to call it sad. Let's call it what it is. It was just the typical loner lifestyle. You go into your ceremony, and the only friend from the religion that I still have contact with, but honestly, I'm going to touch on that as well. At least appreciation. That's why I kind of been a little bit too nice with him, because at least he didn't have to. He could have made up a lame excuse of saying, even though he had to work, he only had an hour of free time, he could have rejected, and I would not really mind I wouldn't mind that, obviously. But honestly, he ended up showing up, and then he went to work. And, like I said, mentioned in the other video, I just went out to eat with the pastor. Well, basically, the pastors and the wife. And basically, that was it, Then I went to, and I started working, and there hasn't been, enough happy life. The only thing, fast forwarded now, my mom already knows the frustration and everything, but she can't do nothing about it. She thinks that I'm overreacting. See, since they came from a worse situation, because obviously both of their parents, well, my dad is brainwashed by his parents. My mom didn't have the best parents, so that's why I'm never going to really make a reason, because she believes that she had it worse, and then at least I have an education, and she couldn't have an education. But honestly, like this, there's, on that I can't say anything. She did have it worse. She didn't came from a good background, unfortunately, and that's basically the consequences. And and even if I would have had more freedom, I don't even know. I could not predict what would have been the outcome if I didn't have religion and the structures that my parents gave me. But now, I'm never going to be rewarded. First off, I already learned that. Like I said, I don't care about women anymore. Women can just, they can go somewhere else. But first of all, even if I have a job, if I have a decent car, 'cause technically I'm a loaner on a Lexus, and I do have a decent paycheck for now. Like I said, it was a lot of sacrifice, a lot of swallowing, because obviously, you had nothing else to really look forward to. After leaving the religion, I started to become a different person, but it's kind of too late already. I'm already in my 30s. All the females here in the town they're completely trash. Hispanic women are trash, white women as well, and the African women too. They all have the same background. They pretty much have this fetishes with the bad boys, and when their life does not go the way they want to, they have already kids or divorced or looking for the good guy now. It's the same story, and that's why, what's the point of me pursuing? The good ones are not even here. And the pretty looking ones are... See, I don't know how to explain this. In my town, there's very few Stacy's. There's not an abundance of Stacy's. There's very few. Stacy's here are still... They fetishize the bad boy, or, a decent good looking bad boy. That's why, I haven't seen a chat yet, but chats are very scarce as well. But even then, the decent looking girls, they have a moment in their life. They screw up, they have kids, and they end up, having this bitterness. And they take it out on the good guy they can trap. And that's why I don't want to go through that ever again. And then I tried that girl that was under my looks match. She was a little bit overweight. She didn't want to lose the weight. She didn't want to be healthy. So I dumped her as well, because obviously I'm a guy into health. I like to eat clean. I like to take care of myself. There's nothing left. There's what's the point of me trying to look for it? That's why the pastime that I do is travel the world. That's pretty much it. And honestly, I don't really care about the biological needs. There's other loopholes that you can do. You guys already know what I'm talking about. There's a couple loopholes that you can really do, and I don't mind that, because I am more like a Buddhist. I'm not religious. I don't believe in Christianity anymore. So technically, that's how I started to become more hardened, more this, I'm not a loner because I want, because I was forced to. I just became a loner because I think that's the best thing that kind of has happened to me. First of all, at least I don't have to worry about nagging girlfriend anymore. I don't have to worry about budgeting, and I don't have to worry about a girl asking me for my, if you're dating, obviously they want to have access to your phone. I don't care. I can talk and text whoever I want to, and honestly I don't really text too much females. Even if I wanted to, I can save money for a couple weeks, and I can just go to Miami, because I do have a trip planned for this year somewhere foreign, and I think it's a surprise for you. You might, and honestly, you guys might like it. If you guys been watching Babylon Loner or Dumatana, shout out to him. It's one of the destinations he kept mentioning, so I decided that's the destination that I'm going to head to, and I kind of always crave to visit that nation, and probably because I'm working hard right now. I've been working on a couple projects. Like I said, I already striving for a very good career, which I am. Hopefully, I can get the license. And honestly, being alone allowed me to see other things of the world that was worth it. And that's something that I started to feel sad for my brother, because obviously he had a better life than I did, and I can't hate on him. It's not his fault. And also, it's not even my sister's fault. There's a lot of things that I wish I could tell you why she reacted the way she was when she was a teenager, but obviously, it's too personal, and I'm not going to share it out. But anyway, like, I feel bad for my brother. He is getting closer to. He already got engaged, and he hasn't been the same person that I once grew up with. He was more charming. He was more. He was full of life. Now after he got engaged, he's not the same. He's more stressed out. Even for his age, he's starting to, he's looking a lot older than what he's supposed to be looking. He's in his early 20s. So the only thing I could learn from all of this is basically, whether it sucks or not, mgtow came at the right time. It saved my life, because honestly, I could have probably been engaged or been with a very unsatisfying relationship. And like I said, I hate to say this because I'm not a hardcore sexist or anything, but there's not good women out here. Oh, the good women probably never existed in my town. They're all they have a lot of problems, and I can't say too much. I can't say too many words right now because honestly, I don't want to get nuked. But basically, the only thing I could say is at least I got the chance to travel. I was even lucky for that. Sometimes life could really suck. At least I found a career. So far, I've been doing alright, because honestly, it's not a career that everybody can do. And I'm sorry if I ever achieve, then I'll mention it on the channel. But honestly, I want to keep this more private. And when it came to a car, honestly, I didn't want a car. I was happy with an older car, but I was still young and naive. But I got a Lexus. It's not like, oh, I'm just a loser guy that is rotting in his mom's basement. He's not even working. No, I've been working. I've been busting, been grinding. I've been traveling. I got the car. I still take care of myself. Like, I learned to love myself. That's why I can't ever get married anymore. And that's why I don't even want to be part of my brother's groomsmen. Man, I don't want to be part of his wedding, because I hate marriage. I don't want to be part of that. I never liked him and his girl. We already had our own indifferences. We never liked each other. But like, I never fought her. I never like argued with her. But obviously, we both have that energy vibe that we don't like each other. And that's pretty. And my sister, I can't say too much for her. Like, after talking to her, realizing why she acted the way she did, it's not her fault. It's basically teenage years. It's just my mom was that typical female that she believed that the males were all bad and the females are just. I don't know. For some odd reason, after my mom having this difficult relationship with my father, she ended up becoming like, she's not really like fanatic of man. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So that's my story. That's my origins. I know this video might suck, but that's why I became the way I am. I'm not gonna go against it. I'm not bitter. I'm just happy. Right now, I'm gonna go to the movies. Yeah, I'm gonna go alone, but I don't truly care anymore. Like, honestly, right now I'm gonna go to the movies and I'm gonna have myself a pretty nice steak with a nice, cocktail. And I don't have to pay for nobody else. I'm just gonna enjoy my free time, enjoy my freedom. For a 31-year-old dude, I still look a little bit young. Even with the beer, and right now I'm kind of sad. I'm just mad that my brother decided to get engaged with the girl that has mistreated him. But unfortunately, he's into that propaganda. He wants the family, he wants the kids, he wants to live this Disneyland. And my sister, good for her. She's at least providing for herself. She at least is taking care of her other parts of her life. And Passion Traveler is just a normal dude now. Like, he has he has the philosophy and the mindset of a Blackpill and a mgtow. And ever since you started, reading philosophy, reading all these stoic stuff, your mindset does change. Like, I'm not bitter at all. It's just like, it all makes sense now. And honestly, I just want to retire somewhere. Like, My main mission is a house either in Vietnam, Thailand, or somewhere where I can enjoy the beach. That's what I'm asking for. I don't have to buy a new car. I'm not looking for anything luxurious. I just want to enjoy peace, life, and whatever it can bring me. Cuz honestly, I don't even know what I deserve now. And I really have a lot of gratitude for you guys. Appreciation for coming in, listening to my videos. I know I'm not the best YouTuber. I'm not, because I don't have time. This video I just made it right now as I'm about to head to the movie theater in a couple minutes. But honestly, enjoy your life, guys. Stop over obsessing with marriage, man. Marriage, relationships, it's not what you think it is. If you already know you're an exes male, then why are you like sad about it? At least look for other things that can make your life a little bit better, man. Don't give the people that want to see you rise, don't give them that victory, man. Don't like. A lot of us want to see us down. A lot of people that I knew that never liked me, and I don't even know why they don't like me. I never talked to them, but they just. I never became that character that they wanted me to be, like the 40-year-old virgin, the loser that sits in his mom's basement, doesn't do anything for himself. I never became that. I did improve a lot of my life, and I'm sure they want to see me go down. They probably want to even see me delete myself. I don't know. A lot of people are extremely evil. They have this evil mindset, like, and I'm very sad about it. But it is what it is, guys. You guys take care, man. Enjoy your Sunday. Do some reading, work out, man. At least eat something healthy. If you have some money, man, save for a couple months. Enjoy a nice meal. Enjoy other things, man. You're going to see what I'm talking about. But, it's up to you. The choice is yours. You guys take care and stay tuned because I might make a brand new channel. But peace out.